JH2L podcast. Just here to listen. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the JH2L podcast. Just here to listen. I am Naja B, aka Miss B, and
It's the spill.
hey, Spill,
What's happening?
what's good?
Another one like the other one.
Well, we here, and we got some topics to talk about today.
What we got up?
We are talking about 9 to 5 versus entrepreneurs.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about it. But before we talk about it, we're gonna start with what we're not listening to today. And what is something that you're not listening to today?
I'm not listening to the pollen in the air.
Ooh.
Allergies at an all-time high. The Benadryl ain't working. It just put you right to sleep.
Ooh. Ooh.
That pollen. I
Yeah.
can't even listen to it right now.
Okay. We're not listening to the pollen.
What you ain't listening to?
I'm not listening to social media.
What?
Social media today, they've been talking about dissing 9 to 5 workers and promoting entrepreneurs, which is why we're gonna talk about it today. I just feel like we shouldn't be dissing 9 to 5 workers.
Okay, get right into it.
We're gonna talk about it. So there's nothing wrong with being a 9 to 5 worker, but people on social media have been having the discussion of making it a problem. And it's kind of defacing the hard work that 9 to 5ers got to put in. Just because entrepreneurs have the freedom to do what they want to do and have this lavish lifestyle, it takes away from people who are striving to do things. I get it. 9 to 5 is harder to achieve certain goals, but it is possible to get there with certain jobs. You just gotta pick and choose.
See, this is why I don't use social media as my news
Mhm.
because people say anything on social media.
Mhm.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a yin and yang to everything.
Mhm.
So I mean, you telling me that the high earning jobs, the doctors, the nurses, and people making 50, 60 an hour working a 9 to 5
Mhm.
is better than the entrepreneur, where it's entrepreneurs at the same time that don't get paid every day.
Mhm.
They don't hit their quota every time.
Mhm.
So what are they really saying? They coming from the perspective of a successful entrepreneur
Mhm.
talking down to the nine to
The
five or
workers.
the minimum wage 9 to 5
Mhm.
to where it don't make sense.
It doesn't.
That's not a good argument for them to try to diss the other side.
And it's not. And then so you were right about not taking the news from social media, but the problem is that that's everybody's news, right? Everybody's on social media. Everybody is, so attracted and addicted to what's going on out there and what the people are talking about. So people are taking heed to that and listening to it. Oh, you know what? I'm about to be a business person. I'm about to be a business owner. I'm about to start my own business. I'm about to do this. And there's nothing wrong with, wanting to do something for yourself, but just
Not at all.
know that it's not going to be all peaches and cream just
Right. That
jumping off the
it's
gate.
not a guaranteed check from a
You
9 to 5.
yeah, you should, yeah, exactly. You should not quit your 9 to 5 and then go and start up a business trying to sell something. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. It take money to make money.
It take money to make money, and how you think you gonna make money if you ain't working your 9 to 5? Everybody started off with the 9 to 5, and I know uh business owners personally. They have multiple businesses to keep that revenue coming in because one business in this business is not making the money, like you said, not meeting the quota. They're not getting paid for months at a time at one business.
Right.
So they got to have another business. Hell, they may even go slip in and do a 9 to 5 on Saturdays.
Really. Really. That's why I say that's not like I can see why you not listening to that. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no, it's been a big thing. It's been a big thing.
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
Yeah. So speaking of the 9 to 5, we kind of talked about the benefits of working the 9 to 5, except for like the benefits. So we
Mm.
talked about a guaranteed check. What other benefits do you get from a 9 to 5?
You get the security of a guaranteed check. You know what's going on. You know what your job is.
Right.
As an entrepreneur, you it's something new every day. Different people, different personalities,
Mhm.
different situations to navigate. Like,
Mhm.
so some people like the thrill
Mhm.
of what's gonna happen today. How much can I make today? The benefit of a 9 to 5,
You get health benefits, vision. You
other
can't get
security.
that. Yeah, yeah. You can't get that from being an entrepreneur. You got to
Right.
pay for that out of pocket.
There's no retirement plan.
There's no retirement plan. You can't put up a 401k for that. You have to invest. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you have to invest that and keep that somewhere where it's growing. That's your retirement plan. And you
Right.
got a plan for having somebody else to take over your business once it's time for you. Feel me?
Your savings account is your retirement plan.
Exactly. Then at some point, I think they be getting like payments off of some business that they worked or something.
At the
Yeah.
same time, neither one is like better or worse than the other.
Yeah.
It's all situational.
Right. Right. Right.
What works for you?
What works for you? Um, I want to say I admire the people who are doing entrepreneurship. Like I live there for y'all, and it is inspirational. But you just have to really have the mind to like know that you're taking a lot of risk if you don't have that other income security.
It
If you
looks nice. They don't know about those hard nights. What you gonna do? Pick up the 9 to 5, or you gonna what? No, you against 9 to 5. So
yeah. I don't think that I guess it kind of depends on what business route you're going to, right? You could be an entrepreneur for being a musician, right? You could be into sports if you like started from school,
it's basically
income,
working for yourself.
working for yourself.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah. Um.
Without an employer, you employing yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know it comes with that? Like, you see managers at a 9 to 5 get stressed out. You see
Mhm.
supervisors get super stressed out.
Mhm.
That's gonna be you, and
Yeah.
you don't got nobody to point the finger at.
And yeah, and that be a lot of things. You got to take your own accountability. You
Right.
got to take
Gotta be
accountability
very
for
honest with
your
yourself.
own mistakes, your own mess ups.
Definitely.
You can't blame it on nobody else. Uh, Well, if you got a job where you like, or you got a business where you employing other employees, I guess you could blame them for certain things.
I mean, when you being real truthful with yourself, what pointing of the finger is gonna actually matter?
Mhm.
Like, you could say that with anything. Like, you could be selling bean pies, and you pointing the finger at construction workers. Man, if this construction wasn't here, I'd be having all kind of business. Like, is
Oh.
that really? Do
Mhm.
that really matter?
It don't, cause you could go somewhere else in a different location, start somewhere else.
Right. Or you can point the finger at other employees. If they would have just pulled their weight, then it would have. It's all kind of ways that you can point the finger, but which one gonna actually matter?
Mhm.
You got to take that good look in the mirror and get real honest with yourself. When you an entrepreneur, it's a very different game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which road you gonna take?
So I guess we basically touched on the benefits and the disadvantages of the 9 to 5 and the
Right. But
entrepreneurship.
do you think it's possible, or how hard do you think it would be for somebody to do both?
Semi possible to do both.
Explain that.
So with the 9 to 5, most people have a set schedule, or at least you know what days you're gonna be off. Then the days off, you could put into your business. You could start small, start the process of building. Um, the only problem is that you would have to be um, consistent. You would, if you have business meetings that you need to make on the days that you got to work, it may not be flexible for the other person, whoever you're trying to like, investors or, other people that needing to be helping you with grow your business.
And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like at some point it's gonna be a crossroads because once
Mhm.
you grow your business to a certain point, it's gonna kind of take away from your 9 to 5. You're gonna kind of either be tired at the 9 to 5, or
Mhm.
you're gonna be wanting to, or you're gonna be starting to think like, I could make this money now that I'm gonna get for my check. Which one? I mean, the check's still guaranteed,
Mhm.
and that money could be guaranteed for this time. But how many times is it gonna be guaranteed for you to make that money?
Right. But if you talking making money same day, what kind of business is that? Who business is that? And
I'm
you know.
talking like, say if something was to come up to where it could be anything, real estate, cars, whatever,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you grew it to the point to where it's starting to, it's starting to make you be late for work, or like I said, tired.
Mhm. Yeah.
At
Mhm.
that point, do you take a day off to go just make that money to where you taking away from the other money, or do you, like, when it start,
Picking up.
yeah, when they start butting heads, the
Oh. Mhm.
entrepreneurship and the nine to
In the five.
five,
Uh huh.
at that point, it's like, is that, do you just go through how hard it is, or do you pick one over the other?
You're gonna have to pick one over the other. But it's just knowing what it is. So maybe you could request time off if you're going to keep that 9 to 5, just so that it's a guaranteed check, and go on and, take 3 days off of work.
Now, how many times you gonna be able to do that before the job is gonna start saying we don't need you?
Yep, that's true too. You taking too much time off of work, but there are some jobs where you have mandatory paid time off. You have mandatory paid time off, and some of those jobs is like weeks in advance, weeks at a time. You have 4 weeks, or 2 weeks of PTO, where you could kind of finesse and make that work, where you will have so much time off.
That's why I say the social media thing is crazy. There's so many different just hot takes.
Mhm.
They not thinking about the actual situation, like something like this.
Mhm.
That really don't go. It's not a good argument. It's just a hot take to
Yeah.
drive interest to a certain area.
Mhm.
But I feel like in today's time, you kind of gotta find that balance, because if you looking at it like that with the highs and the lows of entrepreneurship and 9 to 5s, minimum wage is not gonna cover rent.
Oh, absolutely
I
not.
mean, it might cover it, but you're gonna be dead broke. You're gonna be having somewhere to be, and you're gonna be hungry. You can't go
Mhm.
nowhere. You don't got
Mhm.
no gas. It's yeah. So
If you're making minimum wage, especially in California, um, you probably would have to be living with other people,
definitely,
renting out rooms.
right,
Yeah, even even not working minimum wage in California,
right.
you
I'm just
still gonna
going
have to
from
rent out a room. Like, you know what? I'm
uh,
gonna rent this room out real quick. I can't.
mm,
You need the extra income. Today's society, the economy is very bad, and I feel like it's kind of always been bad, but we just really like
I mean, it's getting
living
worse
it,
now
experiencing it.
because of stuff going up. Like, housing and stuff kind of always been messed up as far as jobs and
Hmm.
housing.
Yeah,
But with
it never matched up.
entrepreneurship, it's like you kind of gotta have an extra hustle now because of groceries and everything going up, gas going up.
Yeah,
Everything is becoming a lot higher than what it was before.
you need an extra hustle anyway.
Right.
9 to 5 and entrepreneurs. You need social security. You need
Exactly.
an extra hustle for everything now. The income is just not matching the life to live, and that's just like you said, the basics, the necessities, the food, the home, the car, and the gas to get to and fro. After you do that, you got $1 left.
Right.
You got $1 left.
You don't got no money to put into no business or no extra
Mm-mm.
hustle. You can't really
So
maneuver.
you then would need to have something else on the side, another 9 to 5, or because if you got $1 left after you do your 9 to 5, you can't put that nowhere. You gotta You do another job.
Gotta try to rub together $2 and make four.
You're right. Or I mean, team up with somebody else
Right,
and build a business together too with that. Figure out something. Or, get your credit together, take out a loan and um, you know, build off of that.
right. So have you ever had any experiences of either or on these sides that you can give the people to kind of help? 'Cause I think that instead of dissing the 9 to 5, they should kind of help more people start their journey.
Mhm.
It's kind of, that's kind of my take on the whole argument of entrepreneurship versus a 9 to 5. It's like I think it should come together.
They quote unquote on if you looking at the social media, they quote unquote are helping people figure out business plans and things like that by selling them BS. It's really BS that they're selling, it sounds good, looks good, but to get it all done it's just like, no, that's not even possible. That's not real. How many times do you go on social media and you see the ads on social media where, you know, do you want to build your business? Do you want to do that? It's so easy. Follow these steps and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, okay, well, I've looked into it just to kind of see what are they putting out there. And it's like, this ain't correct. Oh, let me tell you how to um be a homeowner with zero money down. You still gotta put money down. You still gotta do that. So, it's false advertisement um that they're putting out there talking about the help. Well, the experiences of being in a 9 to 5, I've always worked from the time I was 18. And I mean, that's not a long time, I guess, but from the time I was 18, I've always worked two jobs. I always had something and something else. And it would be kind of complete opposite. I did CNA work and security work. I did caregiving and I did gas station. I'd worked so many different jobs, so many different places. The 9 to 5 had been helping my life for a long time. Like it's been there. I haven't had no problems. But as far as entrepreneurship, my experience with that is I did try to start a I was about to say a sweet tooth business. It was a sweets business. It was called Najabi Sweet Tooth, and I had made a little cheesecake bites with cookies at the bottom. It'll be like real cookie at the bottom, so it'll be a Oreo at the bottom, or Chips Ahoy, or whatever Biscoff cookie at the bottom for the crust, and inside too.
Sound good.
Yeah, it was really good. I had hits. um, but I
Mhm.
started that business and it just wasn't booming because I mean, I don't know. All I was doing was putting it on social media and I was telling, friends and family like, I did get a couple family members. They bought some things from me and that was good, but it was just like, okay, well, how do I get this off the ground? And it was so expensive buying all the ingredients and stuff like this. And I'm like, well, I still gotta eat. I still
Right.
gotta,
That's that
I still
crossroad.
gotta do for me. I'm like, this ain't gonna work. And one of the jobs that I was working at, they wanted me to basically cater the cheesecake bites to their wedding because they liked it.
That's how it start.
I had brought samples to the job. That's how I was doing it. It was like basically, here's the sample, here's the product, try it out, tell me if you like it, and then here's the information for how you can order it. It had the pricing, everything. It was set up, but it did not get off the ground, so I let it go
What an
and kept my nine to
experience.
five.
Right. Right. Now I could say that my experience with 9 to 5s from younger years, like younger,
Mhm.
when your value of a dollar don't is not really up to par,
Mhm.
you kind of spend a lot of them years working for no reason because
Mhm.
you work check to child, I get it back mindset,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
end up working for a long time. Look back, and don't be a whole bunch of show for it.
Yeah. That's true.
I can kind of see where they could like kind of down talk the 9 to 5 a little bit in that area.
Mhm.
But on the other side, entrepreneurship, just day to day grind, it kind of keep you in the mindset of if I don't work, I don't eat.
Mhm.
But it's so stressful.
Yeah.
It's so stressful, and it's not for everybody.
Mhm.
It gotta be something that you actually like to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's work on top of more work.
Right.
So if
Right.
you don't find no joy in anything that you're doing, then it's kind of on the entrepreneur side, it's not going to work out either. You're going to burn yourself out and eventually do something else.
Mhm. Some people don't even have the qualities or capabilities to be a boss or entrepreneur. Let's talk
Right.
about that part.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have the mindset, but it's also like if you don't have the patience to deal with people and you just kind of like money motivated only specifically, they selling those ebooks. That's the new wave.
Ebooks.
Ebooks. Yeah.
What?
They selling ebooks like how to get your podcast off the ground, how to get what's the other one that I just said? Real estate, basically. Selling this, selling that. They ebooks for everything. Vendors or for hair. People be selling bundles and stuff like that for
Right.
hair.
Right.
Yeah, they got ebook vendors and they selling them for $100 a pop. And if 100 people buy it, you got your money. You got money right there.
So you feel like it's mumbo jumbo in the books?
It's I don't know. I did buy one just to see what it was because they had a lot of vendors on there. It was a like a resale,
Oh,
a
okay. Yeah.
wholesale. So you get the vendor from China, but you got to have the what you call it, not Google Chats, but one of the one of the text phones that you could text them out the country.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, there you go. You
Yeah.
gotta have a WhatsApp and you text them on WhatsApp and then, they give you your price and all the stuff and it's in bulk, so it's cheap, and then you just now you gotta do the part to get it off.
Do you feel like it was anything valuable in the one that you bought,
Um,
or was it worth the buy? Pretty much.
if that was something that you wanted to, it was $25 at the time, so it was like cool. And it was a lot of different vendors, especially for like the popping things like the little slippers with the bears at the end.
Yeah.
That was the hit. Everybody loved them. So,
Right.
it could have possibly worked. I just didn't try it because I didn't do WhatsApp. I'm like, maybe if I would have did it, maybe we could have seen if it was actually work. But also, you could go on AliExpress or some other wholesale distribution website and buy it there in bulk and maybe I guess we don't know what the qualities were, but I know I ordered hair off of AliExpress before. When
What?
I was into my weaves and stuff, I definitely was an AliExpresser, okay?
All right. Entrepreneurship
Yeah,
is possible. Believe in yourself.
yeah.
And whatever you do, whether it's that 9 to 5, you've got to go up there and be the best worker that you can be. If you in entrepreneurship, you better go out there and put your best foot forward.
You still got to do what you love for 9 to 5 too. Otherwise, you're gonna be feeling like it's a dead end job and you
Right.
miserable and all this type of stuff and
Right.
get unmotivated. And then you start thinking about doing other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Other things
Other things.
definitely creep into mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about entrepreneurship, the benefits, the disadvantages, how hard it is to do both, and the battle between entrepreneurs and 9 to 5ers.
Mhm.
How you think we should close this one out?
Do what you love. If you gonna do that 9 to 5, do that 9 to 5.
Do that. Do that.
If you gonna be a business owner, be the best business owner. Do your big one. I'm not discouraging anybody from doing anything that they love, but keep your income, keep that money flowing, and that's it.
All right. Look, JH2L podcast over and out.
Peace, y'all. JH2L podcast. Just here to listen.